Why do you think the product in the regular season is so trash? I'm curious to hear your argument on
Because you
that,
don't,
I
I
guess.
mean, because at the end of the day, the goal is just get to the postseason. Get to the postseason and you have your shot at the title. And when you know before the season starts if your team's making the playoffs. You're either a playoff team or you're a tanking team. There's really no in between. It's really just a matter of debate which team's going to make the 9 and 10 seed for the play-in. Who's going to be the worst of the tankers?
I mean, could you argue the same thing about baseball though?
I mean,
Because there is so many games.
no, because baseball's postseason is not as ridiculous as the NBA's. It's not as big, and the series are not as long.
The NBA postseason is awesome. We're arguing about the regular season right now. The NBA postseason is
It's
great. The NBA
it's the
postseason the
NBA
past couple of
postseason
years
is
has been
not
awesome.
awesome. I strongly disagree with that. I take the NFL postseason, March Madness over it. I would take the MLB over it. I take the NHL over it. They're all significantly more exciting playoffs than the NBA.
Last year, definitely not last year.
I don't even know if I agree with that. I mean, the only fun run was the Pacers. Other than that, I don't think it was that fun of a postseason.
Carter, Jake, what do you guys think?
The the postseason last year was absolutely electric.
Um, well, I think what you were asking, Hunter, was like because like if baseball's so long, why does it work and basketball doesn't? And I think it's because baseball, one, it happens during the summer and it's like an outdoor like when you go to a game, it's like a full like event type of thing. When you're going to like an NBA game, it's like you're kind of just there for that and then you go home. So I think baseball, you can go there, you can be down 11-2, but you're still outside enjoying yourself, having a couple of beverages and eating some peanuts. So I think it's different. So I think you can get away with the 4-25 Rockies playing the Athletics on a random day in July rather than the Kings versus the Warriors on a random November like
I'm
evening.
not I'm not denying that within the
But
fan
I would
experience, but I don't understand the players, I guess. Like why has the player intensity, I guess, declined throughout the regular season? I feel like throughout the past couple of years specifically. Why do these regular season games mean nothing? Is the talent disparity that big? What is it? I That's what I'm asking, I guess. Is I don't know within a player's perspective why this is the case.
Well, I feel like part of it for baseball is that you can give your all and kind of be more confident you're not going to injure yourself and don't have to worry about injuring yourself and like losing all that money. While for basketball, it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is a good question though. How do you?
I think part of it is a culture thing because in the NBA, I think the good majority of NBA players, they're growing up in these AAU tournaments. They're playing in these, you know, high money, high prize tournaments from the time they're young. They're at a young age. They have the nice shoes, the nice accessories. And then baseball, on the other hand, a large portion of baseball are players from the Dominican Republic, South America, players that grow up. They tape newspapers together to make a baseball, and they put like trash bags on their hand to use as a glove. And so when you have guys like that, there's much more of an intensity because these guys, grew up with absolutely nothing. I'm not saying that there's some NBA players that grew up with nothing, that there certainly are, but you see it much more in baseball, especially in the foreign aspect.
Yeah.
And like Francisco Lindor is a great example. When he was a kid, the reason he got so good at defense, or he was so stout defensively, is because he would take grounders from his dad on a hill at like a cattle ranch farm or something, and every time he'd miss a ground ball, it would go past him into the farm, and some of the animals there were a little violent and vicious, and it's the only baseball they had. So Lindor had to go in there and avoid the animals and get it and get back out. So when you have kids growing up like that, and that's just one story. When you have kids growing up like that, again, America, the worst of America is better than the vast majority of other countries' best.
Right.
And so when you have other people growing up in those situations and that's how they're playing, they're not going to take it for granted once they reach the professional level.